What's up, Cloud Gamers? Welcome to another episode of CGX, which is the Cloud Gaming Podcast. And so we're missing some people, as you guys can see in the panel. We're missing Mark, we're missing Jerry as well, and Holtz. Holtz might make it, we don't know for sure, but if he does, we'll just add him into the mix. And we have a special guest, and we'll introduce that guest later on. Hold on one second. This tends to happen every podcast. Anyway, so we're gonna get right into this, guys. We have a lot to cover. This week was kind of a slow week in the cloud gaming space, but still, there's a lot of news that happened. Little news, but still a lot to cover. So we're gonna get right into that. Again, for this podcast, we'll try to interact with the chat. We tried that last time, and it seem to be pretty positive. So we're gonna give that a go here again. So to get started, again, going to do something different today. We're going to actually talk about some content creators that we have watched for the week. And the reason we're doing that is because, again, we're a tight community, right? There's a lot of people who put cloud gaming down. And so I want to bring some light to some other content creators, whether it be Stadia or just cloud game in general. So we'll ask the panel what other content creators have they watched this week, and what videos caught your interest. So to get started, let's introduce the panel. Ben, how are you, sir? What have you been up to? What content creator have you been watching for this week?
I'm doing good. I've just been trying to play a little bit of Sekiro and play a little bit of Watch Dogs, but other than that, the content creators that I've been following this week, I was watching the Trash Mob show with Eddie Player One, Link TV, and
Yeah.
Meg was on there too, so that was fun.
That was an Eddie channel, I believe. It
Yeah.
was yeah. I watched a little of that too. It's a good one for sure. How about you, Duncan? What have you been up to? What games have you been playing? What platform? And have you been watching any content creators for this week?
Yep, I'm going to plug Young Rock to start off with. He launched a new show today called Cloudburst on his channel, where he's brought in a load of people. He's brought in people of Stadia Cast. He's brought in Noid of Stadia Cast, Eddie, Chase, Clive, and Avery, and they take one big topic and they just talk about it in the whole cloud. So it's something slightly different. So I think that's well worth checking out today. For me, over this last week, I have actually dived into more Destiny, getting ready for the next couple of weeks. And I've been playing that on GeForce Now, and I have also been playing some Grid on Stadia and some PUBG, and I'm not touching Watch Dogs and all that for the time being. I was tempted. I was so close to dropping it today to play it on GeForce Now, but I have resisted. I'm trying to hold off for a couple more weeks. But yeah, I've actually played a fair amount of games this week, which is pretty good.
Nice. Why are you holding up for Watch Dogs?
I want to see what happens with it. I want to hold off until the Stadia version, and maybe then compare them like you guys have done, because you've put that video out there, which I noticed as well. So yeah, I just want to hold off for the time being.
Okay, fair enough. Makes sense. Yeah, and Rock, he actually was on here too as a guest, and yeah, I was watching a little of his show called Cloudburst. If you guys haven't checked that out, make sure you do. It's pretty cool. Again, they pick a specific topic of conversation, and I think 6 awesome content creators on the panel just go at it. So definitely check that out if you haven't yet. How about you, Chief? For us, we're saving the best for last, so we'll get to you in a bit. But Chief, what have you been up to? what what platform have you been playing these games on, and also what content creator have you been watching?
Well, I think anybody who's been on the channel this week will have noticed that I've been on pretty much every single platform. Watch Dogs Legion, I'm loving it. It is so funny, especially being English as well. The depiction of British or London accents is to die for. It's just cracks me up. I'd keep thinking that there's just way too much swearing in it, and then I'd say, "Fuck me, there's loads of fucking swearing in this game." Oh right, yeah, that's about right actually. But yeah, so absolutely loving that. Welcome Holtz, who's a victim of the time change this week. Knew there had to be one of them. Our clocks went forward, or our clocks went back even. So obviously Holtz forgot that 10 o'clock was not 10 o'clock at the moment. Content creators, I just keep every time it comes up, I have to go and watch Project Storm. I love watching his 4K content. It's just such nice stuff to watch. And he's been streaming Sekiro and I forgot what the other game was earlier today, but he bounces between the different platforms with the 4K footage, and it's really cool to see. And Rough Gaming's been streaming again, and he streams in the mornings, and it's great for me to just get up and watch some of Rough Gaming stuff. So those are the two that I've been really watching this week.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see Raph back to making content for sure. And again, Project Storm, he does some amazing 4K content too. So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff for sure. All right, so we'll go to Holtz. Sorry for us keep you in. And we'll go to Holtz real quick. Holtz, how are you, sir? What have you been playing? What platform? And also, favorite content creator that you've been watching this week? Oh,
Andy's on
your
mute.
your mic is muted, sir.
Yeah. Carry on.
Yeah. Now we can hear
No,
you.
you were muted in
Can I hear
stream.
you? Oh, straight. So I was muting stream. So I've been playing it quite a lot today. Off the cloud platform, I've been playing that demo of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. So I've been playing that while I was waiting for actually Sekiro and Watch Dogs. So then I jumped into playing Watch Dogs, and I totally agree. A fun game. Part of me was like, the graphics wasn't up to par, but I was thinking as like next-gen graphics, but I've been really enjoying it. But of course, that swear wording of them and Cockney accents, I've been walking around going, la, 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 la. It just sort of throws me off. Too many people are going, yeah, all these words. And
is it that bad?
I think every corner I turn, it's usually someone swearing at me. It's okay. It's my fault that I might be driving a car at them. But,
every person you touch, every person you hit, just general conversation, it's like, yeah, it's just like walking down London.
You walk into a pub to get a mission, and everyone's like swearing at you, and they're trying to get a pint, and I'm like, wow.
That's crazy.
And then also I've been jumped into Sekiro. Such an actually beautiful game looking at it. I'm glad I really played it. I've been playing it in like the Japanese audio, and it's been really great. But at the moment, I'm actually very bad at it, but I'm slowly progressing each time.
Yeah. So
that game is so much harder than I thought it would be.
Goodness.
But it's so much fun.
Yeah. It's so interesting because like right after the tutorial, they give you a sword, right? And then they give you like weak bosses weak enemies to fight. So you feel like a boss when you're fighting them, right? And then they give you like a real main boss. And like it's like holy crap, this game's like extremely difficult, right? I can't even pass the first main boss. It's
that's exactly what I am. And it was a quote like saying hesitation is like death. Yeah. But I'm like mistiming my attack is death. Jumping off a cliff is death. Padding thin air is death. Everything seems to be death.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's fun, but so difficult for sure.
We come to Critical, but actually I did watch Critical die quite a lot playing Sekiro.
And a person who I like to watch each week, and I've done it this week, is the guy called Clive Illinson, aka Lord Kenzel of Stadia. He's just such a great guy. He starts off his podcast like he's going to inform, educate, and entertain, and he does that with each podcast. Every Monday, he does a Stadia night podcast, and then you'll see him on Tuesday doing sort of a Generation X podcast, and he just brings the humor and just all this big brain knowledge. So he's always a pleasure to watch. And then also you catch him all the time with like the UK based cloud streamers. So you'll see him jumping in games, and he's just a funny guy to really watch and enjoy.
Nice. Check him out for sure. All right, so we have a special guest today, Critical Frost. How are you, sir? And we're just going to ask the same things, right? What games have you been playing in the cloud? And also, what content creator have you been watching this week?
Okay, I'm unmuted. Don't want to make the same mistake. So recently I've been playing a lot of Sekiro. Yeah, Chief watched me die a lot in that. I've been also been playing what was it? Watch Dogs Legion. It's a really good game. I got like pretty far in it. Like it's so funny because I like understand like some of the things that the people from the UK are saying. Like they, so I'm like 1 minute I'm doing something and then this guy cusses me out and calls me like a bellend. I'm like, why? So it's really fun. And I've been looking forward to playing the
Nice.
Vikings Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So really gonna be good. It looks like it reminds me of like PlayStation or God of War in that type of because
True.
he's in Valhalla, the same thing. So, but what do you call it? Oh yeah, the content creators I've been watching recently are MM2K and
Yeah.
Project Storm as well. I like his content. He's pretty funny. Like 1 minute he's positive like Ace, and then he's like, "What the hell is this?" So it's pretty funny getting different cloud people's cloud gaming channels
For
perspectives on the
sure.
industry.
For
So
sure. Good to have you in the show, man. Good to have you. All right, so I've been playing Sekiro. You guys, Sekiro, however you say it in Japanese. Hope I'm not butchering the name, but the game, like I stated earlier, is just really difficult. A lot of fun, right? Once you figure it out, but again, man, trying to figure the game out is freaking brutal, right? But still fun. I've also been playing Rogue. You guys know me. That's my go-to game on GeForce Now. A lot of fun. Again, if you guys want to play that game with me, let me know. Content creator that I've been watching this week, I would have to say Eddie, Eddie Player One. If you guys haven't checked out his content yet, please do. He's close to 1K sub, and for the people who watch this after, right, just make sure you go help him out to hit 1K. Again, he's an awesome creator. And another content creator, I'm sure you guys are aware of, Sunny, right? He is an awesome Stadia content creator as well. I have to say, when it comes to just hustling and making content, man, you definitely got to give the dude props, man. Always, always on top of Stadia news, gameplays, and stuff like that. So make sure you check that out. All right. So that's all we have for you guys with the introduction of the panel. So we're going to move into coverage. Now, we're going to do this differently. Normally, we go from platform to platform and just talk about news and discussions. But this week, we're going to do something different. There are some topics that we're going to address, and then we'll go right into the different platforms. So, to get started, right, you guys have heard of Ubisoft Plus, right? That's the rebranding of Uplay Plus. And so, pretty much, this is pretty cool. What this is, and correct me if I'm wrong for those of you guys watching and people in the panel, it's a way of Ubisoft to just have all of the games under one umbrella. So you can purchase a game on Ubisoft Plus and then use different platforms to play this game. What makes this pretty cool is that it's cloud saves, right? So you can actually start a game, like say on Stadia, pick it up on PC, and your saves will still be the same. So this is a good way. A lot of us on here in the podcast, we've always been saying, when is Uplay Plus coming to Google Stadia, and how are they going to do it? But I feel like this is a good solution for that. So it's going to be in Stadia, it's going to be on Luna, and also it's going to be in PC, which means you have access to GeForce Now and Shadow. So I want to ask the members of this panel, what's your take on Uplay Plus rebranding from, I mean, Ubisoft Plus rebranding from Uplay Plus, and what's your take on this strategy? So to get started, we're going to look at Duncan, and what's your take on this?
Look, I remember to unmute myself. There we go. My take on this, I think it's absolutely amazing that they're going for the buy once, play anywhere, so you can get it covered. You buy it on PC, you can jump on to Luna, or you can jump on to Stadia, all part of the subscription. I think that is absolutely amazing there, and I really can't wait to see how that actually pans out. As we know, we do know that there's a number of Ubisoft games coming to Stadia. They've already been announced, some of the Assassin's Creeds and all that. So again, it's not going to be the full library in both for these systems. Luna is going to get about 50 games, they have said. I'm not sure if we're going to get to 50 when it launches first on Luna. A bit disappointed we don't have the Ubisoft date for Stadia. So, and politicking here a bit. It's really interesting. It is Luna only announced it a couple of weeks ago, and it's coming straight away. And Stadia have announced it last year, and you're going to get it after Luna, which is absolutely mind-boggling to me. How can they get it out quicker than Stadia? With Uplay Plus, it is absolutely amazing value. You get the full versions of the games, and it's just, if you're an Ubisoft fan like I am, you know you're going to pick it up. It's just when you're going to pick it up and how long you're going to be paying for it. But yeah, I think it's really great news. And when this actually comes to the cloud platforms in Stadia, and then I will be replaying my Assassin's Creed games from start to finish.
Ooh.
Absolutely amazing news. I am really stoked for this.
Nice. Awesome. How about you, host? What's your take on this news right here?
Well, of course, it's great news for anyone that actually is a Ubisoft fan, of course. I mean, for me, I always wanted it before Watch Dogs Legions. I was yapping on saying I wish it was here, because I've already spent the money now on Watch Dogs, and that's a big, huge chunk that could have went to this service. And even though they're saying that it's going to come at the end of the year, by that time, I still will probably break for Immortals and Assassin's Creed. So I'm not going to sit on my gameplay when I've got limited time just to wait for the subscription. So I'm one of them gamers that I'm happy just to pay the full price to support Ubisoft. But in the future, of course, I'm going to switch to Ubisoft Plus subscription, because it is a great value, especially when you've announced Luna and Stadia. And then who knows, in the future it could be Xcloud and then your PlayStation saves and everything. So it could branch out in the future as well, which is a huge, big win for the gaming community.
True. Good point with that. Sorry, guys. The wife just came in to drop off the baby monitor, so I apologize for that. But let's check in with Ben. What's your take on this news as well?
I mean, I've been wanting to get it for a long time, and I caved today, thanks to Mark, because he posted that he was playing Watch Dogs Legion with his subscription. So I went on and got that, claimed it on my Shadow so that I could play it on GeForce Now.
Nice.
So that's what I was playing right before the stream.
Nice.
So I'm excited. I got it just because I couldn't justify spending the money on Watch Dogs, on Valhalla, and on Immortals Phoenix Rising, and instead I'm just going to pay $15 a month.
Yeah. I think it's great timing for them, right? With all of the heavy hitters that have coming out this fall, right? I mean, that's what we did the calculations, $180 if you were to get Watch Dogs, Valhalla, and Immortal, right? So $15, I feel like it's going to give people, more reasons and more access to try these games out for sure. So good timing. How about you, First? What's your take on this Ubisoft news?
Well, when it comes to the Ubisoft news, like I didn't expect them to rebrand. In my opinion, I was like, it was kind of weird. I was like, damn, did they switch their? Because everyone's used to saying Uplay Plus, so I didn't really expect that. Like, I get brain freezes every time I try to switch between them. But I like the new news. Especially the coolest thing that I saw was the cross save. It's kind of like the same thing that Destiny did, that made everything easier because one thing I hate about playing Destiny is like going to another, like you have to restart your whole character back in the days, and I was like, what the hell is this? You have to be very dedicated in Destiny for that. So I really like that. That's really cool. I don't know how they're gonna apply it, but I'm very interested in seeing how they do it. When it comes down to the pricing for like Stadia, I kind of understand how, like, I think you guys talked about it, like you're not going to be getting the full 100 games that Ubisoft has. So me at first, like, trying to justify paying that $14.99, even though it's like $15, it's like I'm still not getting everything that I wanted. So if I like getting I think, does it move over? I think it moves over, right? So like if you buy it once, it moves over to the Stadia version, right? The Uplay
Yeah,
Plus.
yeah, you
Okay,
should
that's
be able
good.
to. Yeah,
So yeah, then that kind of makes more sense in my opinion if you get it, because if you, at least if you have a PC, you can still play those games. But some of those games are really old, so it's kind of like, do I even want those other games at the same time? Like Prince of Persia is pretty old. I remember playing that game when I was a kid. So but it's a good game.
yeah.
So that's my take.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Chief, as a content creator, I know this has been like your bread and butter. You've been really looking forward to this one. So what's your take on it?
Yeah, I was kind of a bit miffed about the rebrand, to be honest. Like critical. Everybody knows Uplay and Uplay Plus. I think they've still got their launcher as Uplay, so maybe that they wanted to get away from differentiating the service from the launcher. But also, I think that they just want to get their name out there a bit more. Uplay, is quite generic. It doesn't
Right,
say who it is. Whereas
exactly.
Xbox Game Pass,
Yeah,
they've got their name out there. Everything's Xbox, Xbox, Xbox. So I think they wanted to go associate it with Ubisoft. Get the name out there so that it's Ubisoft Plus. So fair play to them. We kind of expected this. We've been saying it for quite a while. It seemed like everything was gearing up to the delays being because they were making a big shift, and the reason why everything was so secretive over Stadia. So I'm really happy that it has gone that way. I'm bummed that it hasn't come to Stadia ahead of Legions. I think that's a really, really bad move. And the fact that Luna's getting it ahead, even though it's in a closed beta, just seems really silly. But then again, are Ubisoft just not very confident with it yet, and they want to test the waters with this very closed access of Luna Plus before they unleash it on the tens of thousands of Stadia users? Yes, there are really tens of thousands of them, not just the 5 that you think there is. So Stadia is really growing, and I think maybe they just want to make sure that that subscription works. They've had issues already, so I can understand that they want to be a bit more cautious with it. The whole cloud save fiasco immediately day one on Legion. They've patched the PC versions now, so cloud save is working on upload and download, but it doesn't look like Stadia has been patched yet, so you can't actually port your content over or your saves from another platform onto Stadia at the moment. So you can imagine them doing that across all of their games at once. It would have been hell to pay, I guess. So I think they're still working out the kinks with Ubisoft Plus, but I'm really excited for it. I've been a Uplay Plus subscriber since Division 2, even teased their DLC, because I bought Ghost Recon Breakpoint outright on Stadia initially, and because I didn't know about Uplay Plus, and then obviously when Division 2 came and Crew 2, I was like, well, why do I want to pay 50 quid for these when I can just pay 15 quid a month and get them? And being a cloud gamer and also a content creator, not having to buy those games to play on GeForce Now, on Shadow, on maximum settings, I've got the choice. I don't have to buy it on Stadia. I can play it on GeForce Now. I can play it on Shadow. So having that subscription at £15 a month just made sense. So I would love to play them on Stadia, and I've been saying this all along. As soon as it comes to Stadia, I'll probably end up playing it on Stadia. But because it's not there yet, I will play elsewhere, and I'm not going to pay that $50, $60 per game on Stadia.
right, right. Good point. Good point. Yeah, I again think this is an awesome deal for consumers. And sorry, there's a truck right outside of my door. If you can hear that, apologize. But I think this is great for consumers, just like Game Pass, right? Again, you've seen these companies offer killer deals for monthly payment, right? Game Pass, you get all those games for $15 a month, and here you are, right? You Ubisoft Plus now. I got to get used to that name, but again, they just provide an awesome content. You get in for same day release, and then additional DLCs with all the games that they put in that platform for just $15 a month. So again, great deal, and it's pretty cool. I think all you guys here echoed that as well.
See, what one of my fears is with Ubisoft Plus is that, let's just say the big three games, what Legions, Valhalla, and Immortals, I'm afraid that I actually might not finish them games, because say them games are hundreds of hours, depending if I really want to go back and two between them. I feel feared that I'm going to be too tied into that service, and there might be some times where I might want to move away from the service for a few months, and then I'll lose access to these games that I really enjoyed. So at the moment, that's why I've actually paid for them games, so I know I actually own them, so I can always dive in and out. Where with the subscription, until there's actually more interesting games like Far Cry 6, you know what I mean, then I would feel better to invest when there's more games for me.
Huh.
Yeah, and just remember, Far Cry 6 and Rainbow Six Quarantine have been delayed.
Do we know how long
So
for those delays?
Up to March,
No,
up to March 2022,
February.
potentially.
yeah, that's the earliest. That's the earliest. There's no actual firm date when.
So I don't
Been
want to
delayed by a whole year.
No,
fiscal year.
no, the end of the financial year. Basically, they're right now. So it's end of April, sort of March, April time. It's the earliest.
So I don't want to be that person that pays £15 and go, oh, it's only Ubisoft Plus. I'm going to play some games, and that month I never paid nothing. I never played any, and I just feel like I wasted that month. Yeah. So I know a lot of people are saying I want to continue to have it for a year plus, but to me, I don't think I'll have it a year plus. I think I'll rotate between services. And sometimes I just don't want to feel like I want to subscribe just potentially to Ubisoft Plus and then have to stay in it just to play more Assassin's Creed or Watch Dogs.
You see, that's the beauty of cloud gaming and all these subscription models, kind of like Netflix or HBO. You know, like when Game of Thrones come, right? People just get HBO for that period, right? They just watch the Game of Thrones and then cancel it after. Just the fact that you have all these options and all these choices it's a beautiful thing and holds. Yeah, I hear what you're saying with that for sure. All right, so if y'all want to jump in and add more to this Ubisoft stuff, definitely feel free. If not, we're going to move on to Nintendo joining cloud gaming. So we're going to switch. All right, so again, you guys have seen videos here. You guys have seen...
Very, very punny. We're going to switch. Nice. I see Holtz laughing over there.
Oh, giggling in the corner.
Oh, get in, Holtz. Let's hear what you got.
No, I was laughing. I was just expecting a noise. You know, the Switch noise as well.
Oh.
When I seen this news, I was like, yes, finally, something that I've been really waiting for. Because last year with Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Resident Evil 7, that was a platform that I was thinking, this is a hardware that I can get behind and play cloud gaming. And it's a shame it never came to the West. And then now with these two announced games, I mean, Control doesn't really, not for me, but I know it's huge for a lot of people. But Hitman 3 is huge. And I'm thinking to myself, come on, guys, let's all get behind it. And then Nintendo will start publishing the games for cloud that I really like, and Nintendo, I've got a list for them. I really do. So I'm really thinking to myself, please, Nintendo, if you can just do a cloud service, I'll be there day one.
My goodness, this I'll talk more about it, but this is huge. I mean, the potential here is amazing. But let's check in with Ben. What's your take on this?
I mean, I don't own a Switch, so I haven't been able to test it. I've been considering buying one for a while, but I feel like I should probably wait until the next generation of it comes out at this point. The fact that they're finally getting into the cloud in the West, as Holt said, it's amazing, and I feel like it's overdue.
Yeah. Okay. How about you? Let's check in with Chief. What's your take on this? You covered the video. How was your experience with this?
I was pretty impressed. Now I have a Switch for the kids because I'm a PC gamer primarily, and a Switch is a massive downgrade as far as most things are concerned. But I was really impressed with how well it worked. And when I looked into the technology of the company that's providing it, and they are the ones that did Resident Evil 7 and stuff in Japan. They've got some really impressive tech, and it really works really, really well. It's, it puts Stadia to shame. It really was streamlined. It was very well done, and I think that they need to
Can
Yeah,
you explain that better? Putting Stadia.
it was just so smooth. There was nothing to fault about it. The download, okay, they're going the model that you have to download one per app. That opens up other avenues if you've been following the news of where they might also be able to drop that game. The fact that it's done by this other company means that they own the rights to these games. They can drop these games anywhere. But this performance mode, the graphics enhanced mode, giving people that choice, giving a free demo up front, no payment. I think they've got it right out of the gate. So I think Stadia needs to keep eyes on these people because Nintendo's got a massive market in the handheld industry, and if they can't get to iOS soon, I feel like they might be able to steal quite a bit of market share there. So kudos to the company and Nintendo on this one. But
So,
playing that stream
sorry, go ahead.
was probably the crispest, less latency stream I've played across all the platforms. And I know it was only 720, and that might have something to do with it. But playing on a phone, or equivalent of playing on a phone, that was the best experience I've had on a handheld console. So I really do mean that. It was very impressive.
Wow. So I mean, you can give it slack for 720, but Xcloud is also 720 and still runs like
Yeah,
trash
yeah.
at 720. So
Yeah.
I mean,
And that's why when
you know,
I'm saying it put Stadia to shame on mobile experience, playing on mobile,
yeah,
it was definitely the best experience across the board.
interesting. Duncan, what's your take on this? Did you test this out?
I haven't tested it as yet because someone has nicked my Switch charger and I cannot find it for over money. And would you believe I've got like 3 Switch chargers? It's one of these ones. The kids have lifted them somewhere and I don't know where to put them, so they're all hidden all over the show. But no, this is very significant news. Nintendo entering here. Everybody was worried about how they're going to get the next gen games. When they start coming in, this is going to be their way around it so they don't become irrelevant for the big name titles. They've been given the downports of like Doom, Eternal, and things like this.
Witcher 3.
Yeah, and all this. Now they can get round this by just going, oh, we've got these games on cloud now. I don't think people realize how big of a thing this could be.
Yeah.
This has just made them extremely relevant on top of their existing sort of games, their own first-party games, which everybody, not everybody, I rephrase that, most people seem to love. This is a very dangerous situation for other companies going forward because they're thinking ahead and they are on the ball here. I'm with Chief here with the Stadia are going to be looking over their shoulder. I think they're going to be well looking over their shoulder. I think they're going to be a bit fearful about this because there's how many Switches out there, how many tens of millions, and now they've got access to cloud gaming on their screen. Yeah, it's only 720p. As we say with all these, they're going to constantly improve, and then this is a very interesting time going forward.
Yeah.
But isn't it? And the thing is, a Switch screen is 720 native, right? So they are streaming at the perfect quality for that screen. So there's no need for them to put it out at 1080 at the moment, say, unless you're docked.
Yes, I was going to say if you go into the dock mode, because then that gives more opportunities as well. So, and the 4K Switch is coming next year. Remember, apparently.
Right.
And there's Luna trying to get the casual gamers, the people that are happy on 1080, and there's Switch going, you're not touching our market. No, we'll bring it out and we'll keep the 1080 and 720. And then if they bring that up 4K upscaled, new Switch, maybe with 5G and all that, they'll be amazing to play. And especially the Immortals Phoenix Rising's coming to Switch. So if that's the case, right, maybe Ubisoft already knows something that they actually might bring that to their Ubisoft Plus 4 Switch maybe as well.
Yeah. And you hear about like Xcloud, Microsoft working with Nintendo to bring Game Pass game. I mean, this is huge, like you guys have been all saying here. This is big. And then also Nintendo has a mobile app, right? Can you imagine if they find a way to bring cloud gaming to the mobile app right now? So you targeting, Android users now. I mean, this potentially can be huge. huge.
This is what I'm
But-
saying. It's a single app download with a single purchase with its
Right.
own page and store. They've
Right.
got it. The Nintendo store mimics the Apple store. They are
Yeah.
perfectly set up
Yeah.
to go directly into the App Store market, and that would trash everybody.
This is crazy. It's good stuff. Good stuff. How about you, Frost? What's your take on this news, man?
I really like it. I was actually surprised that Nintendo had Control and Hitman. I actually like because I actually beat Control recently on PC, and the graphics are amazing when you bump it up to ultra high settings. It's like a very beautiful game. So I was like, damn, I wish like Stadia had these games. Like Control is a really good. It was like I think it was kind of close to. I'm not sure if it got Game of the Year, but it was really a good game.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, like imagine playing this on handhold, like especially with like 5G, even though it's not like super popular yet, but eventually time moving forward, like how Chief got the 12 Pro and I'm getting it as well. I'm very excited to see it because it's going to be very good playing that elsewhere because the LTE is going up as well with that phone. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it. And it's good to see that more streaming is actually making like streaming more relevant because like to see Nintendo do it is like damn, it's like they don't really mess around. They've been around for like a while, and
Right.
it's like it's putting more respect on streaming because like it's very convenient. Like
Yep.
playing, especially and the good thing I like going back to UPay no Ubisoft Plus.
Gotta get used to that
Yeah,
new-
it's so weird. But playing Immortal Phoenix, right, like that's a game. It kind of reminds me like Breath of the Wild.
Right.
It's like meant for handheld at the same point. It's like very fun. So
Yeah.
I will. That's why I can't wait to play that game on my like my phone. It's gonna be amazing. Thanks to Chief, he he blessed me with that app because playing on iOS is hard.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
my take. Thanks.
Okay.
Just
But I think
Go ahead.
think that the Switch.
I think if they could sit there, Nintendo, and say we are going to announce a new Mario game, Metro Prime 4, and all these other big, huge Nintendo games, no one's going to touch them. Apart, I think
Yeah.
maybe only Sony could maybe touch them on the
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
party exclusives, but just to bring that first party exclusive to the cloud
Yeah.
on the Switch, it is literally
Yeah.
going to
This
be
is
huge.
Can you hear
exactly
me?
what Stadia Pro Gaming is why I kind of highlighted it. Yeah, imagine bringing the first party IPs to the cloud. That's just gonna be ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Chief, what were you gonna say?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. That's something that we missed, and that's one of the reasons why I was saying Stadia needs to look out and puts them to shame. It had ray tracing.
Was that confirmed?
It's
Oh,
definitely got ray tracing. So in the
okay.
graphics mode, in performance mode, it didn't. It turned it off for that extra frames per second. But in the graphics mode, it has ray tracing enabled. So
Oof.
tracing on
Wow.
Twitch, streamed from the cloud.
Wow.
Nintendo has beat Stadia to ray tracing. So that's why they need to up their game. The mobile market is growing.
Wow.
We put out a couple of apps to run Stadia on iOS, and they blow up. People are looking to play it on their phones, and yes, people love iPhones as much as Android users want to put it down. But Switch, the people that already have it, this is huge. If you could say, oh, you paid £35, you get the same as a high-end PC, and it's the same price as a normal Nintendo Switch game, they're going to be sold.
Yeah. No, this again, you guys hit it all right in the head. This is huge. And again, this solves the problem of Switch can't handle AAA games, Like imagine now bringing there's no limitation on what can run in Switch anymore,
And
right?
more porting.
Yeah. Get the true version of The Witcher 3 on this, even Cyberpunk, guys. And watch this. No one's CD Project Red. They like to put themselves through tests. I can guarantee you we will see, not guarantee, I shouldn't say that, but I have high hopes that we're gonna see Cyberpunk 2077 on Switch via cloud. If that doesn't happen, I would be really shocked and surprised. But again, just goes to show the potential of this, right? This is huge. But Anyone else from the panel want to add to this? If not, we're going to switch to the last one.
Yeah, just one tiny thing to add
Yeah.
into that, and that is, they have said in a press release this is the
Ooh.
first of many.
Way to put some fear into the
Uh,
competition, man. We're not done yet.
Yes, and I'm just trying to find a quote here. We will continue our efforts to bring more and more exciting major titles to the cloud and share them with gamers around the world. So there you go. So there is going to be more. So this is only
Wow.
the start.
This is really, again, really impressive. Ben, did you want to add more to this before we move over to Cyberpunk?
No, I'm okay.
Okay, cool. All right, so next news, as you guys have heard, right? This is probably one of the biggest game coming out this year. A lot of people are anticipating this game to where employees of employees who made these games are getting death threats, right? Because of the delay of this game. I'm talking about Cyberpunk 2077. And I believe this is his fourth delay or third or fourth, but again, this was really shocking, and you saw us and other content creators cover this. But just want to talk to the people on the panel and get your take on this delay. Do you think this was necessary? Do you think it was a strategic move? And do you think this will affect the game when it releases? I believe it's December 10th now is the release date. Am I wrong on that, Duncan?
No, I was just going to make the point when it came to me that if you read the press release, they're not even confirming that date.
Good. And that's what they shouldn't. If they don't know for sure, 100%, don't give us a date, because again, those death threats are going to be even worse, right? People, I'm not saying it's okay to send death threats, but I think people have been looking for this game for so long, and just having the delays just is getting people really upset. So let's check in with members of this panel. Holtz, what's your take on this delay, man?
I will always take a finished game than a broken game. So
Okay.
these developers can take as much time as they want with their reason, because they're bringing it to 9 platforms, so it must be huge for them.
Yeah.
And even though they announced it went gold, there's more stuff they can do. And I'd rather the game come finished than me actually waiting for updates, for the services that need updates and downloads. But they've already got my money, and I fully support them. And I'm going to have this game on Stadia. And these people who put in death threats, it's only a game. These people's lives, they kind of create something like a masterpiece, or their imagery of a good story to tell. And if you're sending them death threats, their production and their values in the game will drop dramatically. So let's all just sit back, chill, and when the game comes out, it'll come out and it'll be amazing, because I trust CD Projekt Red. They're only one of the few studios that I trust. So I'm happy to sit back and let them take as much time as they want.
True. Good take on that. Again, we are not for death threats. These guys are working hard. They're not just sitting, lame ammunition, sipping pina colada. They're trying to make this the best game.
But then it goes back to the point of playing devil's advocate, and Sony do this quite a lot. Please don't announce games.
I agree. 100%.
Years before it actually comes out. Sit on it, let it bake a little bit, and then when you're in your final production, drop a teaser. Because I'd rather wait. I'd rather see a trailer and then a game announces 2 months after that trailer.
So
don't announce it years beforehand.
100% agree with that, Holtz, for sure. Ben, what's your take on this news, man?
And I agree with everything Holtz just said. I mean, don't just keep teasing it for years or for months on end when you know it's not going to be ready for a long time, and you build up all this hype, and your sales are going to be through the roof, but then you have all these death threats. You have people that are desperate to play the game because they've been watching it for so long, just waiting on it.
Right.
They just again, better a finished game, a perfect masterpiece than a broken game.
True. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Just want to highlight this as you were talking. But he just said, do you think we might see this go into 2021? What's your take on that, Ben?
I don't know. I'd like to say I don't think it will, because they didn't push it back too much. They said 21 days.
So I feel like it's almost ready. I mean, they sounded like they were ready to go, and
Right.
it just seems like a last minute glitch and like something they're trying to brush up before it comes out. So I don't think it will go, but it's tough to say with these guys.
Yeah. So just real quick, I guess I didn't ask this. Do you think, or maybe I did, do you think it's a strategic move? Do you think the delay is possibly for like another platform that we probably don't know of, or like a deal, bundle deal, something going? Do you think it's like a strategic move for the delay? Anyone can hop on.
Yeah, of course. They delayed it for the Switch.
Yep.
They delayed it for the Switch Cloud version.
They delayed it for Stadia, so they've
Oh
delayed it for something
man,
else.
wouldn't
The
that be
cool thing that
something
I
though?
liked about it,
Go ahead,
oh my
Russ.
bad.
No,
The cool thing that I liked about it is when they actually said that Stadia was not even the problem, like because it's on it's like the same build as a PC. What they said in the
right.
investors call, I think, and it's like there's like yeah, it's not really a problem that Stadia is just that it's like the
Yeah.
older consoles are
Yeah.
kind of holding it back, which is the
Mm.
funny part.
Sorry, yeah, that's kind of a bummer. I mean, they put them like in the spotlight. It's the PS4 and the Xbox is the cause of some of the delays.
But you
Which
can't sit there and just point at them because that's the biggest install base, isn't it? This
it
gen is
is
going to be
true.
the biggest
It
install
is
base.
true.
So
Yeah,
just to sit there and say we support PC cloud services and it's only this gen that's putting it back, a lot of
yeah.
people will be upset because
I
a lot of people are going to keep this gen for at least another 3 years. They
yeah.
can't get.
Yeah,
Go
so
ahead.
I can
Yeah.
hop in if you want. So yeah, I've been following this quite closely because this is one of my most anticipated games alongside Legion. Although Valhalla's building some hype, so I'll let it off. I thought that it was a really dumb move for them to move it into this November window in the first place, to be honest, because you've got Legions, you've got Valhalla, you've got a few other titles launching this month. It's a really bad month to drop that. I know loads of people have got pre-orders and everything, but Ubisoft Plus has got a ton of subscribers, so 2 major games launching in that window. Not going to give the game as much attention, especially as it's a single player game, right? So people are going to be building the hype around these other games. So the fact this moved back 21 days, they're saying for testing, they're not happy with it. The PC was ready, next gen consoles are ready. I'm not sure about CD Projekt Red, but they seem to want to release it everywhere at once. So I think there is some problems on 1 or 2 other consoles. I personally think they should have just released it on the ones that it works and try to keep some of those deadlines. But I was watching some news. I can't remember the show, Take 5 or something like that. They were saying that if it's the older gen consoles are the ones that they're having issues with, and PS4 is one of the largest bases out there, something like 150 million consoles. So they are wanting to drop it everywhere, and they don't want to. Obviously, next gen is a big thing, cloud is a big thing, but you don't want to leave 150 million PS4 users in the dark. And I don't know the number of Xbox One and Xbox One X, but there's 200 to 300 million players that they don't want to just sideline. They want to give everybody the game at once. So it's a tall order hitting 9 platforms at once. So kudos to them for wanting to do that delay, but I think that they should have just gone and staggered that release personally.
Yeah. Good point. My take on this is don't give us any more release date. I mean, just like if you're not 100% sure, I think he'll say this as well. Just don't give us a release date. But I'm hoping, right? I'm hoping they need the 10, 20 something days to iron the game out. If that's the case, then okay. If you are 100% certain come December 10th, this game is going to be ready to go out, then let's stick to that. But
so the other thing is it's become a meme now, because I don't know if you've seen the amount of collateral out there, buses wrapped, buildings, massive billboards out saying it's coming on the 19th of November. And obviously they had this whole Nightwire thing building hype, saying this is our last Nightwire, you're going to get the game. And it's like, I would not like to have been the person who made that decision.
I know.
Can I jump in there on two wee things? The first being Stadia is not to blame. Stadia looks like it's actually done and dusted, which is that's actually shocked me. And it's actually good they actually came out and said that.
That's true.
But I still think that a lot of people out there are still going to put the blame on Stadia,
Of
even though
course.
you've announced it.
Why not, right?
Them people who got this gen, they're going to say it was that cloud. It's that cloud service.
It's the cloud. And maybe that's why they specifically said it wasn't the cloud's fault, because they probably knew that was going to be the case for sure. But Duncan, go ahead, sir.
And the second point is what Mark Chief was talking about, the advertising and wrapping around buses and such like. There was a notable platform not mentioned during that when it has coming to PC, coming to Xbox, coming to the next gen. And guess who wasn't mentioned? Stadia.
Oh.
Yeah, because it wasn't the original date. It wasn't supposed to be coming on the 19th. It was supposed to come in December.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's just really funny again. It's just Stadia marketing, blah blah blah.
Oh man.
Yeah, but obviously they had that big announcement. It's coming to Stadia day one on November 19th.
Nightwire, right? Crazy. I don't want to beat this game too much. I mean, it's a game I'm sure we're all gonna enjoy, but it's kind of a bummer. Again, also we feel sorry for the devs who are getting all these threats and all. But again, just don't give us a date when the game is ready. Just release it. It'll be dope. Just like Nintendo released, still drop cloud gaming on us, right? Just to the same. Anyway, just want to move over again. People on the panel feel like there's still stuff missing. Hop in.
Wait, Ace, quick question. Is I think Chief could help me out. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think Monkey just talked about it in the chat. Is Stadia getting ray tracing or no? It's not ready for ray. Is GeForce Now the only one that's streaming that's getting ray tracing?
You want to answer that, Chief? Or do you want me to take it? Chief is quiet. Chiefy dear.
Chief is frozen. Now we can talk smack about him.
All right, Chief, hop on. I'll start it real quick. But so right now, the only platform and service with ray tracing, Shadow actually has ray tracing, but you cannot purchase the Infinite or Ultra tier yet here in the States because again it's been delayed. But if you get the boost, it does not have ray tracing. GeForce Now, again for $5 a month, does support and offer ray tracing. Stadia currently does not, but there's rumors and speculation that come the anniversary, which is this November coming up, they might give us Stadia Gen 2.0. If that's the case, then we probably might see ray tracing. I know max settings, I know a lot of people don't know about that service or use it, but they also offer ray tracing if you want to go that route as well. But those are the only platforms or services right now that offer ray tracing. Does anyone else?
Holtz wants to go, then I'll go.
Yeah, well, I didn't even know. I was looking forward to ray tracing until last week, until Chief actually said there's such thing as fake ray tracing. So I'm a bit concerned now going in the future. What games actually real ray tracing and which is fake? Like you sort of get with IMAX. Do you actually know what it's going to be until you come out and go, it didn't look right? So I need to go forward, start to see people who I trust can break down this Cyberpunk and tell us what's the difference between this technology, that technology, this upscale, that upscale, and that going forward.
Right.
Sorry,
right.
I was trying to say. Ray tracing. If Legion's anything to go by, they need to do some work on GeForce Now, Stadia, everywhere to make sure that that experience is better than it has been from the Legion release of performance-wise and ray tracing. It's killed quite a lot of computers, I think, at the moment. Bring on the 30 series.
Right. So,
go ahead. I was going to say, ray tracing seems to be coming on Stadia with Chorus. The devs have came out and said that. I'm expecting maybe low levels unless we get this big Gen 2 announcement, which I'm not actually seeing a lot of talk behind the scenes of at this moment in time, because I think there would have been a bit of more things going on, a bit of hype building, but That's the only game I know of at this moment in time which has been talking about ray tracing on Stadia.
And that comes out spring of 2021, right? Okay, so if ray tracing was to come to Stadia, it probably will be around then if they don't announce anything, come this fall, right? The anniversary. All right, so that's the news for Cyberpunk. Again, feel free to hop in here if we're missing anything else. But again, we have some GeForce Now news that I want to get into, and I'm excited because it's one game I want to see if Holtz is excited about with this 5 games coming to GeForce Now platform. I've been waiting for this podcast just to ask Holtz about this game, but 5 games coming, right? We have Watch Dogs Legions, we have Blair Witch, which is a good fit for Halloween this weekend. Now, this is the game Holds, and I'm probably going to butcher the name.
Xian Sword 7.
Thank you, sir. I probably would have said something totally different from that. So appreciate the help there. And then Ghost Runners and then Autonauts. Those are the games that were released for the GeForce Now platform this week. So just want to ask members of this panel, have you guys played any of these games on the GeForce Now platform? If so, which one and how was the experience for you? So to get started, Chief, let's start with you. What's your take on the GeForce Now games for this week?
Yeah, solid lineup again. I was a little bit gutted that Legion didn't come at the midnight drop for UK, and we had to wait to the 6 p.m. or 10 a.m. Pacific time drop for that.
Right.
So, fair play. It still came day one or day and date, I guess, for the US. Not quite day and date for the UK, but yeah, it was still there, just very late in the day. So a little bit annoying, but hey, it's there. It's got ray tracing. As I said, the game needs some optimization. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that runs further down the line. But everything else, great gets, solid week again for GeForce Now. But I've not had any time to play anything else but Legion this week.
So I know you were kind of talking with GeForce Now PR, and you were talking about like optimization for this game. And from what I was hearing, they're kind of working on optimizing this game to run better. Do you know if that has been finalized yet, or do you think that's something that's still to come for the GeForce Now?
So yeah, we raised a few issues. Obviously, some of the stuff we were seeing on Reddit as well were echoing that. They patched the game quite quickly, so I think the cloud saves are working, and it looks like they have bumped it up to the 2080D now. I've not had a chance to confirm that, but I've seen quite a lot of reports that they've bumped it to the 2080D. So performance is supposed to be better on GeForce Now, but I think Legion just needs some optimization across the board on the PC version because all the cloud platforms are really struggling with it. So I think it's got virtualization issues, but even some local rigs are struggling to put out the frames per second that you would expect it to with the stats and the recommended settings that it's got. Most people having to drop it down to high to get those 60 frames per second, even on local 2070s, 2080s. So definitely needs a bit of work, but it's early days. Ubisoft are the opposite to Project Red, I think. They drop their games, get the feedback, kind of iterate on it over time and improve it with the customer feedback. Not always the best way to do it, but that's been their model. Whereas obviously CD Projekt Red have been much more cautious with that and making sure that everybody gets that best experience from day one. So different ways of working, but I think in the next couple of weeks we'll see massive improvements on Legion across all platforms. So it's going to be quite exciting.
Good to know. Good to know. Holtz, let's get to you, sir. What's your take on these games coming to the GeForce
Well,
Now?
there was only one game which you just mentioned before, so Xian Sword 7, and I was looking at this. I was looking at this last year on the PlayStation 4, and when I seen that list today and I saw that on GeForce Now, I was like, I need to buy it. I just love action RPGs like The Witcher. I love mythologies from different cultures, and because I don't really see much Chinese mythology games, I went, I really need this now on GeForce Now. So I haven't played it because I've been playing Sekiro, but I clicked buy and I thought of it looks so beautiful. And I thought to myself, I am just going to when my hand rests from Sekiro and Hero Warriors, because I'm button bashing a bit too much, I am so going to play this game, and I'm so glad it's on GeForce now. I'm going to be playing it on my tablet, and I'm going to be playing it on anything I can actually play my hands on. But on another serious note on GeForce Now, one game that I was disappointed I didn't see, and I haven't checked it today, but I got Ghostbusters 3 on the Epic Store. And I actually thought that would be coming to GeForce Now. And I've been waiting. I've been waiting for the last few days to be playing Ghostbusters for Halloween, and I didn't see any news yet of it. Actually,
no, only Blair Witch came to GeForce Now, I think.
So I was a bit upset seeing the list that I didn't actually get Ghostbusters, but excited that I got Zonyan Sword 7.
Yeah, you know what to do, Holtz, don't you?
Tweet the developers and actually say you need to get it on GeForce Now.
There we go.
Was
even
that
send them the form.
Yeah, was that a free Epic game?
It was a free Epic game, which to me, I think we said last week. There's a few more games now that are being promoted on the Epic Store that has not come from GeForce Now, and we did hear maybe 6 weeks ago that all Epic game will actually come to GeForce Now. So it's a shame that one of the games that I'm really interested in didn't come for the time period that I wanted it for.
It's a bummer. I was just gonna echo that too. I don't know why that's the case. Like, we miss some games, in other weeks we get those games, so it's kind of a bummer. But yeah. Ben, what's your take on this, man? Mic check. Ben. All right, cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big fan of like the horror games, like Dead by Daylight and Blair Witch and stuff like that. It's just not my cup of tea. I don't like to be scared all the time and be jumping at every corner. So that's pretty much all Epic has been putting up for the last 2 or 3 weeks. But like Holtz, I was disappointed that Ghostbusters wasn't on there because I was actually excited to play that and don't feel like clearing up space on my shadow to put it on there.
True.
The other games I just haven't looked at too much.
Okay. How about you, Frost? Have you any of this game catch your interest? Have you tried any of them on GeForce Now?
Well, the one that interests me the most is Ghost Runner. I don't know if anyone's seen it, but it's kind of like a Cyberpunk type thing.
It's evil.
And it's pretty yeah.
Oh man.
It's really good. I like the way how it looks. But everything else doesn't really I already bought Watch Dogs on Stadia, so but Blair Witch, I kind of agree with Ben. It's like I don't want to be scared. I like watching people play scary games, but me playing it's too immersive for me, man. Because I'm gonna start cursing, so I don't want to do that. So, yeah, that's my take on that.
So Ghost Runners, if you guys haven't tried that game, man, that game is so brilliant. You guys think Sekiro is bad, right? This game, talk about dying multiple times, you will die. But the beautiful thing with it is like once you perfect it, and you have people, that'll be a good game to stream if you're really good, because again, it requires a lot of skills. And yeah, man, once you perfect it, man, it feels good to just get through levels without dying once, But yeah, good game for sure.
We mentioned it a few weeks back. It's a game that I'm really interested with the settings, but I don't want to get punished. Wall jumping off a wall and miss timing the hook and going back to the start. I just think it'll be one of them games I'll be frustrated with. So kudos for the people who really
frustrated on the demo.
Yeah,
I got about halfway through the demo. I was like, "This, I've had enough."
I know LXIV got through the demo one run and did not die at all, and I was really envious. But yeah, I think he has a video up on his channel, so if you guys want to see a solid run through without
to be fair, he probably practiced all day and then recorded it.
Yeah, because he streamed it the previous night and he was dying like crazy, and then he put up a video like the following morning with success. But yeah, the game is brutal but rewarding if you're good at it, for sure. How about you, Duncan? What's your take on these GeForce Now news, man?
Yep, I think as we say every single week for GeForce Now for the last number of months, very, very solid. Watch Dogs coming with ray tracing of a sort, and another really good month, and hooking into the Epic Game Store, brilliant. people can get in and just jump in and play. I was actually speaking to people on Twitter today, and they're actually doing that to actually just try out some games on GeForce Now. They're just they're going to play some Blair Witch on it, and they're also going to subscribe to Ubisoft Plus, and they start playing Watch Dogs as well, because I didn't realize GeForce Now you can actually do that as well. I think they really need to start pushing that, and hopefully to get an app and something like that, because that is going to be a good way of actually doing it, because your library is going to be so much bigger than the other platforms going forward.
There's an Epic subscription coming soon then.
Oh yeah, be brilliant that went into.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Yeah, you're right. Go ahead.
Yeah. You just need to promote some of this stuff a wee tad better, just to get it out there.
I agree. Yeah, promotion. I mean, that's a great thing that they have going for them, but they need to, I agree, advertise it more for sure. Cool.
That's the whole reason why I didn't buy any Ubisoft games on Stadia, because I had GeForce Now, and I had Uplay Plus, so I could play all the gold editions of Division 2, Valhalla, sorry, not Valhalla, Odyssey, Crew 2, the lot.
And eventually, it is going to come to Stadia. So why waste
just
money?
waiting. Exactly.
Yeah, buying Watch Dogs right now while you can pay $15 a month and get that, right? So, yeah. All right. So we're gonna move into. I hear someone's mic. Just feel free to hop in if you want. I don't know who that is, but we're gonna hop into Stadia. If I missed something from GeForce Now members of the panel, let me know. Right. So. Beautiful week for Stadia. Again, they shocked us with 6 games. Again, this is the 3rd consistent month, right? That we're getting 6 pro games. I mean, it's incredible, right? When is this gonna end? We joked about.
I don't think it wasn't a shock. It was a case of a hope that they didn't came back on it, because there'll be blood.
Yeah, but we also talked about that. Like, if they went back to 5 for 4, that's reasonable, right? And just not 3 or 2. But again, just the fact that they brought 6 games again for this week is absolutely impressive. So those games are Sniper Elite 4, which I think is a pretty decent game. It has HDR support, right? Risk of Rain 2. And man, I feel sorry for people who just purchased this game. Again, we have a joke here on this channel that you should just wait off for games, because eventually it's going to come out for Stadia Pro, like this one, right? The Gardens Between, don't really know anything about this game. Hello Neighbor Hide and Seek. It's a pretty good game. Republic and Sundered. So those are the 6 pro games. Just want to check in with the members of this panel. What's your take on these games? Are you guys excited? Are you guys gonna actually, I want to know, what's the first game that you're gonna install come November 1st on your Stadia Pro account? So to get started, Ben, what's your take on these 6 pro games?
I mean, it almost got me to resub to my pro subscription, because I canceled a couple months ago. Right. I've just been focusing on the games that I already own. The being able to play Republic and Risk of Rain 2 was really what made me almost push the button to resub, because those are ones that I've been wanting to play but couldn't justify paying for.
Yeah.
So I might turn it back on just so I can play that, but gonna give it a little bit first, see how people like them, watch some videos first.
Okay. How about you, Frost? What's your take on these 6 pro games?
Well, the main one that I like anything from Sniper Elite or the Zombie Army, because it's from Rebellion, and I always like their work. All the games look very beautiful. I don't know, when I first saw Zombie Army 4 come into Stadia, I was like, damn, this is one of my favorite games, because I think I had the second one, and no matter what platform I ever seen them on, I was like, yo, this game looks beautiful. I don't know how they do it, but it can be on 1080 and it still looks better than some games that get more money than them. I don't understand it, but it looks really great. But Risk of Rain, I was actually thinking about buying this game. It's a funny thing. I was like, let me wait. Let me not spend this money, because I have a feeling that Stadia might get me. But it looks like a very good game. I saw the trailers and I was like, yo, this would be very fun to play with some friends. But that's about it that really interests me so far. But
Okay.
I was actually laughing the fact that, because I remember you was like, I don't think they're gonna put out 6 games, and I was like, once I saw it come out, I was like, I wonder what Ace is gonna say about this.
Yeah, I didn't think they would make another month with 6 games. This definitely took me by surprise too, for sure. But kudos to the Stadia team for this, right? But Holtz, what's your take on 6 Pro games again, man?
Well, it's a great variety of games for a lot of people. I mean, me, I would rather have 2 big games than 6. But overall, when I actually look at the 6, my 6 is totally different from what I want to play. I mean, I looked at that Gardens Between, and I thought it just looked so beautiful playing through them memories. And I can't think if I've actually played a game that you rewind or fast forward, with time mechanics to sort of solve a puzzle. So I thought, oh, I like the look of this game. This is a game that maybe I can relax to, put a few times, just do up each memory at one session when I want to relax, because the music sounds so soothing and it looks absolutely beautiful. So it's a game that I'm actually going to invest time in. And then the game that I actually sat on was Sundered. That was a game that in July we're joking around, like saying like, oh, it'll come to Pro sometime. And I was like, oh, I want to support it. But that game, Metroidvania, 2D platform, is another type of games that I really enjoy. And I'm going to invest some time just plodding along, not too stressful, and just enjoying these games on the Pro.
Yeah, I think that would be Sundered would be a good game to play on your phone if you have a chance to.
Mm-hmm. So it's in the end, I know a lot of people keep on saying like in Stadia, you really want the big, huge AAAs to play on their tellies and stuff like that. But sometimes I just want the nice, relaxing, small-paced games as well.
True. Again, I think you hit it right on the head. Definitely good variety of games for sure. You have your kiddie-ish games. You have your AAA with Sniper, Elite.
And of course, with Hello Neighbor Hide and Seek, at least it finishes the collection now. So for the people who actually like that kinds of Hello Neighbor, the kids are all going to be happy with that. So 3 out of 6 I've actually, made up to see. And the rest, I know my friend, he's a big, huge Sniper Elite fan. So once again, if he actually moved to Stadia anytime soon, I'm sure he'd be really enjoying it.
True. Good point. Again, I mentioned this last week, but I am using Cloudy with a Chance of Games. Again, Duncan is the owner of this website. It's a great website to definitely get caught up with your cloud gaming news. So again, this is on here. There's a lot of other great cloud gaming news on here as well. But yeah, let's hear from Chief. What's your take on our Duncan? Let's go with Duncan. What's your take on this news?
Oh no! I'm just messing about here. I'm going to be Mr. Negative here. I was not blown away by any of these, and actually, it's a case of let's just chuck out as many as we can, and we'll hopefully hit someone with some of this. I am extremely disappointed in a strange way that Risk of Rain 2 is there. I think they're going to end up really annoying people going forward. If they knew this was going to go pro last month, they should have just left it off for a month and just dropped it straight in as a pro game. It's just really, really frustrating. It's again, it's a hodgepodge of games there. I have played a couple of these before, and I don't really fancy going back to play them again. It's good if you haven't got them. And I'm just getting more and more worried about Stadia as the weeks and months go on. And I've been talking to some people offline here, and I have a horrible feeling we could be talking Stadia in regards to, like, if you remember, Betamax versus VHS, and Stadia, unfortunately, I think is in the Betamax rule here, where they are the best technology going forward here, but they're just getting left behind here with everybody else just pushing on. And it's what I've been saying: content is king, and you put these games out there, it just doesn't stack up as a something as a draw, and this is meant to be the draw onto the service, and there's nothing actually there which would go, oh my god, this is going to make me go onto the service. There's just nothing there, and I have a feeling as the months go on, we are going to be getting more of that, because we're seeing Stadia put up what games are coming to Stadia over the next wee while, and if you take the Ubisoft games out, it is a very slim offering going forward. I am just worried where the games are coming for Stadia now.
Yeah. I mean, I came to the conclusion that Stadia is not Stadia Pro. It's not going to be where I get like my AAA games. I came to the conclusion that I'm going to use Stadia Pro for my daughter, right? Because again, is they do a good job putting older games or indie or kiddish games on Stadia Pro. So I'm able to sleep at night when I see these 6 games, because to me, I'm just like, all right, good games for my daughter to play. But again, yeah, I do agree. Someone was saying here earlier they'd rather have, I think it was Holtz, 2 AAA games than 6, games that they're probably not gonna play. And I can echo that. But at the same time, I feel like if you switch your thought process to, make this, something that, hey, family or kids can play, then it wouldn't hurt as bad. But again, it's just me trying to make sense of this
But
all.
I always feel that when I say AAA, like I'm talking about like if I said Formula One 2020, I said that's a AAA game. That's a game that I'm really
Right.
excited for. A lot of people will say, "Oh, another racer." If I said Lost Words should become a pro game, it'll be an amazing experience to play. People would be judging the book by the cover without even playing it. So I feel these games could be hidden gems for a lot of people if you just
True.
invest the time. I
True.
think a lot of cloud gamers are just mostly invested in first-person shooters, and that's why I always feel that every week I'm always the person going, "Well, I like that game," but I'm not. But
Yeah.
I feel like it's good to have the options.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Pro offering does give you options there, because I do think I'm going to drop into Risk of Rain 2. That is the game from the whole Pro games there, which I'm most likely to drop into. But you mentioned F1 2020. That I think that could have been an actual ideal one to come to Stadia, and it wouldn't be out from question because that's dropped onto PS now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So again, there's so much going on here. I just feel that Stadia is just treading water, and they're just not getting the games onto the service, and they're just chucking all these games on because they don't have the big games to actually drop the money and to actually go, here you go. Again, it's just quantity over quality for me, and which I think you were saying as well, Holtz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so most
ahead,
of these
Dave.
games are part of our running joke. When they got announced originally, are you going to buy it? No, I'll wait for it to be on Pro. And
True.
this is exactly why I didn't buy Republic, even though it looks absolutely awesome and my sort of game. And here it is, 2 months later on Pro. And Risk of Rain 2. Again, like you said, they need to stop doing this because it's a running joke for us, because we're right most of the time. Most of the games that we get, I'm not buying it. It's going to be a pro game. Become a pro game within a couple of months. So if it's going to be a pro game at any point, just don't put it on sale, or just drop it on pro earlier. I don't see the point in annoying your player base by making them buy it, and then if they happen to have not used their 2 hours, when it comes to it becoming pro, then they'll probably let them refund it. But just why even make people pay for it if it's going to be a pro game? It just doesn't make sense. And this is part of Stadia's issue. And I think this is where Duncan is saying that he's getting worried for Stadia now, is that they just keep making these silly mistakes month after month, week after week. We see it with their marketing. We see it with these, like putting pro games that were on sale or were full price just a month or two ago. It just seems to be a little bit all over the place again, which is a shame because they are good games. And as Holt said, some of them are hidden gems. I've picked up pro games thinking, oh, what's this piece of crap? I know. And West of Loathing was one. I was in stitches and I ended up playing that for hours on end. And it's a great mobile game as well. Just pick up and play because it's just so easy and so quick to load, etc. So I think some of these pro games are just easy playing games. Hide and seek, I won't play it, but my kids will. they hate Hello Neighbor because it scares them and they can't get into his house. But I can see hide and seek being a much more easy and fun game for them.
Yeah.
If they play the Crew 2, they just drive around for hours and end switching between cars and bikes and stuff. They don't do any races. They just have fun driving around. So we really do need this family share. But Sniper Elite, Republic, and Hello Neighbor will go into my Pro collection. I might dive into Sniper Elite at some point, but I've got Legions to play. And by the time I come out of Legions, I'm going to have Valhalla to play and then Cyberpunk. So these games will just sit in my back catalogue like the other 30 or 40 Pro games that I've claimed that are just sat there. So I do feel like if Formula One came, I probably would go and jump into it because it's quite a cool game. You've got your 20-player races, you've got your realism. I would go and play that. These will probably just sit in my back catalogue until such time I'm in a situation to play on my phone or my kids want to play it. So
true. And then guess what? By the time you're done with Cyberpunk, it'll be December and 6 more games will be added to Pro. And so you'll probably never touch in November Pro games. It's I mean, someone stated early here, quality is better than quantity, right? I feel like, like people are gonna miss out on these games because it's just, they're not that great of game. They're decent, but not great, right? So
yeah, I think that's the point. They are not bad games. They're reasonable games. I don't think there's a stinker among them there. It's just they're all okay to good, but they're not actually, oh my god. I've got this feeling that Stadia are just trying to pivot to a subscription model by default.
right. Exactly.
And just we're doing this a pro game. If that rumor was put out on Twitter earlier in the week was true, where pro games going forward now are going to be on the service for a year at least. So I think they're trying to pivot to a semi-pro or semi-subscription model just to have you hooked in, just because of all the games.
Right. True. So we're gonna get those people who, we get this every week, how we hate Stadia so much in this channel. So I just want to end, this 6 Pro games on a positive note. Kudos to the Stadia team for giving us, again, 6 Pro games, right? I mean, I didn't, like Frost was saying, this took me by surprise. I didn't think we'd hit another 6. But just like Duncan was saying, maybe this is leading to like a Netflix-like subscription model because, I mean, they are just filling up the Pro library, which makes sense, right? But again, I just want to end on the positive because this is really cool. Again, they didn't have to, but they're hooking us up with 6 games. So realistically, we can't complain, right? So
I'm really glad that they offered us the different types of genres because, especially the younger audience, they don't know what genre they actually like or type of games.
Right.
And there's plenty of games that they're going to be the future of gaming. I mean, a lot of people I've seen on Reddit, a lot of people call them Stadia, Dad-adia. They're going, all them Dad-adia, it's all them dads. That's the games they want on Dad-adia. And I thought to myself, there's more variety on Stadia than just dad games.
Yeah. Okay, I've never heard of that. That's funny. That's funny. But Chief, you gonna say something?
No, I was just going to agree. It was very kind of like a lot of the games that our generation would have gone, yeah, I can play that, really nostalgic games and stuff as well. So it is good to see a lot more of those kind of younger games coming through.
Sure.
Because you're right, it needs to entice a new audience, not all the ones that were invested on console or PC equivalents to play in the cloud. It needs to be new and exciting. And that's why I think something like Formula One probably would have fallen into that dad category, actually. So maybe that's why they didn't do it.
And there's me using terms Metrovania 2D platform that people are going, what's a Metrovania 2D platform?
What's 2D?
Yeah.
2D platform? What world are you living in?
Right. But
yeah,
go ahead.
They definitely need to get some more kid-friendly games in there just to appeal. They're at this moment in time, for me, they're trying to appeal to everybody, and they're ending up appealing to nobody because they're not appealing to the hardcore. Because all the hardcore games, they're just missing out in so many different demographics. They're just, it's like a scattergun, and they don't know who they're going for at this moment.
I feel they need family share to really do that because there are Hide and Seek, Republic, Sundred, are all kind of younger games that would entice those people to the platform. But if I'm playing Division 2 or Crew 2 or whatever, I'm not going to go, oh yeah, you can. I'm going to give up so you can go and play Hide and Seek, or
Yeah.
I want to be shared, and I'm not obviously going to pay twice for that either, for that privilege. So
Right.
I think they need to sort that out soon.
And that's why maybe I would pay a little bit more, maybe £18 or $18, just to have a collection of 6 family members having one pro subscription.
Yeah, family sharing needs to be a thing. I can't stress that enough. I think hopefully we see it by the end of this year for sure. But I'm looking at time, we're kind of close, and we still have 2 or 3 other platforms to cover. But real quick, 2 games released this week for Google Stadia, and Sekiro, we've talked about here multiple times, and then Watch Dogs Legion. Just want to know, people in the panel, have you guys picked any of these up for Stadia? Have you played it? What's your take? So Frost, we'll start with you, sir. Have you tried Legions or Sekiro on Stadia?
Well, I got both of them. The funny thing is, so I got to a certain point where I got pissed at
Did you break your controller? Okay.
No, I didn't break my controller, but I was like, but I eventually got back to it, and I killed the bosses that was bothering me. But I was looking at it, and I was like, damn, I'm about to refund this damn game. And so I didn't get. Then I saw I passed my 2 hours. I was like, God. I was like, what is the point of having 2 hours? It's not fair. So, but it is what it is. And but I like the game. Is it gives you a challenge, and when you actually kill the boss that you wanted to defeat, it's actually rewarding. It's like, yeah, I finally got this bastard after all of this struggle that I went through. So yeah, but and then Watch Dogs Legion, it's a very interesting game. It's different from the other ones because I was actually playing Watch Dogs Legions. Watch Dogs 2 actually, and you can see the differences. The cars are kind of. I don't know if the driving is better in my opinion. I don't know if anyone played the other ones, but sometimes it's like I'm so confused. I'm turning, but the car's not turning. It's very weird. But I enjoy the game at the end of the day. The story is kind of interesting. Just seeing how like a tyrannical government is kind of, and they just let the freedom go to the government. So the story is kind of interesting. It's not a very character centric because you change it
cool
all the time, but it's still good.
Your take on it. Holtz, what's your take on these 2 games?
Well, I bought Sekiro, right, because I knew it was going to be a challenging game, but I thought to myself, even though I'm always whinging about insta-deaths and lack of skill and I'm always getting frustrated, I wanted to put my support behind this game because, 1, I love the culture it's supporting, and 2, I want this game to succeed. I know it's made by From Software, but there's another game coming out called Elden Rings, which is by From Software, and I really want that game to come out next year on Stadia. So the way I thought I'll do it is put my money where Sekiro is to show that I'm supporting the platform in hopes to bring a game over. And of course, I'm like, yes, I'm going to play this game. I'm going to be a shinobi in the Sengoku era, and it's going to be amazing. A beautiful tale, and it's just Holt's dead. Holt's dead. And I'm like, I think I need like a Mulan scene where like Holt's, we're going to make a shinobi out of you, and I'm sort of just learning the defaults. But to me, I'm just going off somewhere, and it's like, but like I said, small increment steps, and I'm getting a little bit further. But for those people who love challenges, love shinobis, love hack and slashes, please play this game because it's beautiful and the soundtrack's amazing. And of course, Watch Dogs Legion. I picked that up. I'm only, it reminds me of other Watch Dogs. It wasn't something really new. It looks gorgeous, but I don't think to me, it looked like next gen. But at the moment, I've been driving around London, happily doing a little bit of side missions, but I don't really like the way people are speaking to me on the game. But I'm like, they all sound like a Guy Ritchie movie, Lock, Stock, 2 Smoking Barrels, Snatch, and I'm like, wow, Southend London looks a bit. But I've been having fun, and I recommend if anyone likes these type of games, definitely dive in and play it.
Okay. Good to know.
I just want to add on real quick. The cool thing is like I don't know, you can play different ways. You can kind of go guns blazing in that game, and then another way you could play it. It's kind of like like a better version to me of a hitman because I can go in super stealthy if you get the spy, and she has like a silencer, so you can kind of play the game differently based on your characters as well. So yeah.
Good to
Oh
know.
yeah, and the Sekiro is I think it's part of Activision as well, so that's why I kind
Yeah.
of supported it as
Yeah.
well because I was like, we need some Call of Duty, please.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, From Software went with Activision on this game for some
Yep.
strange reason. He worked with Bandai Namco in the past, but they done Activision and then he switched back to Bandai Namco.
Hmm.
So
So again, like Holtz was saying, and for us as well, if you guys want to get more, games here, right? This is on Stadia. This is a good way to do that. Your wallet speaks. So again, if this is a game you might be interested in slightly, really give it some consideration because again, by purchasing it, like first was saying, you have Activision, and then you have, like Host was saying, other Japanese, big titles can potentially
well,
make
this
their way.
game that I was talking, Elden Rings, it's wrote by George R. Martin, which is the writer of Game of
Oh,
Thrones.
yeah.
And so the publisher's Bandai Namco, someone that I love. I love
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. I love the writer. So I'm like,
Right.
please just come to my platform of choice. And the only way it's going to do that if you speak with your wallet.
Exactly. So true. So true. So again, if you want to do that, I picked this game up too and having a good time. But Duncan, what is your take on these games?
Okay, I'll be nice and quick. I haven't played either of them. I'm waiting for Secure to go a bit cheaper. I'm a cheapskate, so I am. So I'm just
How
waiting
much
for
cheaper?
the
It is on
interesting.
sale for like 34.
£32. I think I paid £32.88 or something.
I am not a big Souls player, Soulsborne player, because I don't have the time or the patience to play them games. So it would have to get down to about the £15-20 mark or $15-20 sort of mark for me to jump onto it. The interesting thing is what Holtz was saying there in regards to Activision. There is a definite lack of Activision on this title. If in the Stadia version, if you go into the Stadia store, it does not have published by Activision, and during the startup and stuff, it doesn't. And the web page is completely separate, and it looks like it's being published by From Software and Stadia. So that is just something to keep an eye on. It may have been Activision didn't want to put their name on it at this time, and they're just covering themselves, so to speak. But that is just something to keep an eye on.
Okay. Chief, quickly take on these two games.
I love the look and style of Sekiro. It brought back memories of Tenchu. I don't know if anybody remembers
my
Tenchu.
goodness, yeah.
But I loved that style of game. And I love playing Tenchu. But after watching Critical Frost die about 50 times in the space of 10 minutes, I thought that's going to be me.
Skip that.
So I might just wait for the game to either drop to a ridiculous price that makes me just want to jump in and have some fun. But yeah, it's definitely not for me while I've got everything else to play. And it's just the timing thing. Again, I've got such a catalogue of AAA games that I want to get through first, that if I did buy it, I would feel bad because I would have spent 30 quid for a game to sit in my back catalogue for the next 3 to 6 months. So I've got so many games in my back catalogue. I've really got to think about what I want to purchase. And as much as I want to, I can't justify it. So it looked really cool though. And it's a good get, I think, for Stadia.
True.
Watch Dogs Legion, not on Stadia because it's not on Ubisoft Plus. So I will continue to play it elsewhere until it becomes available via subscription.
Yeah. And again, that should be, do we have a date for that?
By the end of the year.
Okay. Yeah. So if you guys can hold up for that, do. Because again, Ubisoft Plus is going to be a thing.
What I will say though is what I have played on Stadia is impressive. It does play very, very well on Stadia versus the other platforms. So it's a good port.
Yeah, and you guys, if you haven't checked out the comparison video, do, because again, you can see the difference in that video for sure. So I just want to get into this real quick. Just an update, I guess, for you guys. We were going to discuss more about it, but we're kind of close in time. So if you guys didn't know, Stadia is doing this thing called Free Code Friday. Just go to Google Stadia Twitter and tweet out Stadia sweepstakes for a chance to win a free game of Marvel's The Avengers, the deluxe version. So if that's something you guys are interested in, just know. Just want to quickly highlight that.
And the marketing teams have mentioned it on Stadia, not PlayStation 4. The Marvel.
Are you serious?
No, because that guy advertised PlayStation
Yeah.
4 last time. It's just saying
Yeah.
he put a disclosure.
And
there
Duncan
we go.
showed he did it again.
He's done it again.
Wait, he did it again?
Yes,
Yeah.
I haven't brought it to everybody's attention because I'm trying to keep it under the radar. But he's at his work again.
Oh my goodness!
It was what, yesterday or the day before? He's saying this is my game of the year, and
Yep.
it's a screenshot of PlayStation 4 version of Marvel's Avengers again. And it's just like,
Oh.
oh my god! And his Twitter account is still marketing director of Google Stadia.
Oh my goodness!
Wow. Oh no! What was it? It was it was. I'll find it here in 1 wee second. But it wasn't that. It was something similar to that. It was a PlayStation 4 game. What was it? It was. Here we go. It was Spider-Man was his game of the year. So he's going out saying, "This is my game of the year."
Didn't Spider-Man come out last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god! It's the same guy from last time. Who did
This is what Stadia just need a new marketing team. Period.
That reminds me of when those people took. I don't know if you see those people who be like, "Oh, this phone is the phone of choice."
Yeah,
my iPhone. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, they're being paid by Samsung to market like a Galaxy phone, and then they're like taking the picture with like an iPhone. Yeah, it's silly,
Yes.
but that's marketing fail right there for sure. But Oscar says, "Fire."
Yeah, the Alex Hutchinson thing, they mustn't have got the memo that they do stupid stuff. It can go round everywhere.
Yeah, so let's move. My goodness, wow. 2 more platforms. Let's talk about Luna, right? Again, invites started going out again to some people. Still haven't got ours here yet, and talking to other content creators that still haven't got theirs as well. Just want to know, members of this panel, have you guys got your invite? And also, people in the comments, let us know if you guys have got your Luna invite. And second thing I want to say about Luna, actually, 2 other things. The control, right? Some people are getting that and they're testing it out. Just want to know what your take is on what you've seen so far in the control. And then also, someone highlighted that New World is a game that the Luna team is trying to push on Luna or market on Luna. So again, just want to talk to members of this panel and see what's your take on all these Luna news happening this week. So to get started, Duncan, what's your take on this?
Yeah, and they also added 2 games onto Luna Plus this week in Panzer Dragoon and Castlevania Anniversary Collection were added this week as well.
Nice.
So they are definitely pushing out the content there. The first thing I want to talk about the controller, absolutely amazing. It is paired per account, and so you can just jump seamlessly between the screens and not have to worry about pairing it up. So if you're going from your PC to your Fire TV, you don't have to worry about doing all that faffing about trying to get it all paired up. Family sharing is working as intended. There's been demos of that. Someone was Ashes to Ashes was showing off him and his child were playing 2 different instances at the same time under family sharing. So absolutely amazing.
Was that with 2 Luna controllers, or was that with 1 Luna and 1 separate?
I think I was with 2 separate controllers, but they were just going there.
Because that's what I'm interested with a Luna controller, is because it's per account. If you've got 2 Luna controllers on 1 account, how does it know which game each person's playing?
Yeah, you set up your account. You're actually given. He actually demonstrated that he had 4 different accounts set up.
Okay, so you get a Luna controller per account. Okay.
Yeah, it's what I mean is you have 4 different accounts set up. So he had his one, and then his child had their one. So it must be. You can have them all linked somehow under the one Amazon account. So it's maybe something we need to investigate a bit more. But yeah, he had them 2 different ones going at the same time. With the New World, yeah, they just dropped that, then they took it away again.
Oh, so they did?
Yeah,
Did
it was
you?
up.
Oh man.
So it is coming, but it's just when it's coming. So that is
See,
something.
I'm a little bit annoyed about that because I paid, the upfront cost for that game because it looked cool.
Yeah.
So for them to drop it onto the Luna Plus subscription for
Ooh.
the $6 a month or whatever, it's like, well, hang on a minute. I paid 40 quid, I think it was, for that game, and to get early access to it. So are they going to refund me if I subscribe to Luna? Or how's that going to work? Because that's not on.
It's a great question. That's a good point too, for sure. Great
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, so Luna seem to be just doing lots of quick updates all the time. So it's just really interesting. And we just have to see how all this is going to actually pan out. And again, they were straight on the ball saying we're coming out the 10th of November here, and you can jump onto Ubisoft Plus, or sorry, the Ubisoft channel. There's too many confusing things going on here at once here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say I am really impressed on how they are actually marketing this and being really, really interactive, and they're retweeting content creators as well, which is really, really good as well.
That's cool. I'll be we'll get to me. Holtz, what's he taking on all this Luna news?
Well, I've got nothing new to say, being UK based from like last
Sure.
week that I've said. But the whole point is what I was just thinking then is I thought that list of like 72 plus games was mentioning games on day one. And Duncan's just mentioned a game that I was interested in, which was Castlevania Anniversary Collection.
Yep.
And to sit there and say it came 2 weeks later, then I'm like, well, that wasn't day one. So I don't know, how fast or how many games you've actually got now, because I've not really been paying attention apart from just seeing other people's streams, but they're playing the games that sort of they're focused in. But then it made me laugh when people just questioned it, then saying, how does the controller know what screen? I can just imagine myself playing a game, someone downstairs playing a game, and my screen's going crazy, and I'm like, what's happening here? Because we've all played games where you think you're moving a character that you think's yours, and it's not.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, just while you're talking there, I do this. Just shout at me if it gets annoying. What actually comes up on the screen? It says you're moving to a different device here, and you can actually stop it and do that. So if you're moving,
but what happens when we've got like Google Wi-Fi nodes and it's just broadcasted all around our house? How would it know which area of the house we're in?
You have to activate it. So if you're going onto your Fire TV, you fire up the Luna app and go there, I'm playing on this now. Or if you're playing on your phone, you have to start it up. You have to start the game on the device you want to move it to.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about the controller syncing, but you have to start it up on the device you're.
Yeah, I think what I'm with Holtz with, if you've got two controllers under one account, so yeah, having them on separate accounts, fine. But if you've got two controllers on one account for co-op, for example, do you actually have to have them under separate accounts that join the game? Or if you then got two paired to one account, like you said, somebody could be trying to play downstairs and moving your character around upstairs. So.
Gotcha now. Yeah, I'm not sure because there hasn't been that many controllers actually out in the wild at this moment in time.
I mean, what I'm looking forward to is the assistance. I would like to actually say, push the assistance button and say, now broadcast to bedroom TV, now broadcast to living room TV. But then what happens if someone else has got a controller and then is interrupting my gameplay upstairs? And it keeps on using the Amazon Assistant to disrupt my game. I wouldn't like that.
That's true.
Yeah, so many questions about.
Yeah.
Imagine
we want to get our hands on it.
Yeah.
Imagine the kids asking stupid questions, and on my telly it actually comes up the friggin' Alexa goes, "Yeah, this is how you play this game," and I'm like, "Oh my god."
But yeah, that's all be good to test this, man. Again, still waiting for that invitation and trying to talk to Amazon PR. It's another story, but Luna's PR. But anywho, for us just quickly, what's your take on all this Luna news for this week?
I'm interested in trying it out, but I still haven't gotten my code like everyone else here. It's unfortunate, but oh wait,
it's crazy.
As long as it doesn't come in November, because I got too much to do as it is.
I know. Oh my goodness, right? Yeah, we have a really booked November. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Hopefully, it doesn't, right? But
poor Chief streams will have like 7 comparisons in November for games.
I'm capping it at 4. There's
Yeah.
if there's more than 4 for one game, it's going to be multiple videos. 4's bad enough, man.
Yeah, again, a lot of work goes to what he does with the comparison, and it's insane. It's insane, but people seem to love
Yeah,
it.
I
So,
selected 3.
huh?
I selected 3. I selected 3
Yeah.
screens because sometimes 4 can get bad too. I was like, I don't know which one to look at.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Again, a lot of work goes into that for sure. All right. So again, quickly gonna hop onto Game Pass, game streaming, XCloud news. And not a lot here. I believe certain games was added. I think they said 10. Don't know all the 10 games, but as we're talking, I can pull it up. But something I did want to talk about, people have been asking the question, will Game Pass prices increase, right? With the acquisition of Bethesda and all of the stuff that Microsoft's trying to do with Game Pass. And Phil Spencer has officially confirmed that the price is going to stay the same, right? Which is a good thing. People were expecting it to go up to like $20 or maybe even more. So just want to know for the people on the panel, what's your take on xCloud prices staying the same? Does that excite you? Do you think it should be cheaper, or do you think they should higher the price? So to get started, Holtz, what's your take on this news by Phil Spencer?
I think it's at the moment he's only saying that to push his hardware and the service now, but I think it's inevitable to it's actually going to go up with inflation and the amount of platform, the amount of studios they got. I think it's going to go up by a few pounds, but by that time they will give you the heads up in a few years that it's going to go up. So don't expect it to be the same price now. But by that time, when it actually goes up, they're going to have great other tiers. They're going to have cheaper tiers for everyone now. So at the moment, they're keeping it quiet. But in the future, when you've got more options, then they'll say, well, we're going to bring Game Pass Platinum, but we're also going to bring Game Pass Base. So there's going to be different tiers for everyone. So for me, if they offered me more games that I'm interested on Game Pass for a higher price, I will actually pay it.
Yeah.
So
true.
I don't want to be that person that always wants to say it's set at 15, but I'm also that type of gamer that if they can offer me a third of the cost just for the cloud, without the Xbox Live, without this, I'll also take that as well. So I have to think about it when I go forward in this platform.
Right. I do just quickly gonna say I do think something that xCloud is lacking is just AAA third-party games. And like I can't have xCloud be my main cloud gaming platform, because again that means I'll be missing out on games like Cyberpunk. So channels, something that Luna's doing, I think will be a good fit for xCloud for sure. Anyway, just want to throw that in there. But let's just check in with the price increase. Duncan, what's your take on this?
Yeah, that's two contradictory things he said in the last week. I think Marchik knows what I'm talking about here, because last week we were talking about the streaming stick was going to maybe be free on higher tiers of Game Pass. So I think there may the Game Pass we know now may not change, but I think we're going to get a higher tiered one, where maybe to chuck in more first party game, or not more first party, more third party games and things like that. But as Holt said, eventually it will go up due to inflation. It's just an inevitable. But I can't say someone else said.
I'll be back. Sorry.
Yeah, but it is interesting that he's came out and said that. I'm happy enough with the Game Pass model, but with what you were saying is about the not being able to play like Cyberpunk, etc. Phil Spencer was on record saying you will be able to access games you buy eventually on xCloud as well.
Oh,
so
nice.
Yeah. So that is something to keep an eye on. Not sure when that's going to come. It's maybe it's long finger sort of thing, but that is on the plans for xCloud.
That'll be awesome. Yeah, they need something similar to that. But good to know. Again, Duncan with the info, man. Can always reliable when it comes to that. Cool. Chief, what's your take on this?
Yeah, I think it's going to increase at some point. But I don't think it's going to increase until they figure out what xCloud's going to be. I think there's probably going to be an xCloud only with either a streaming stick or just a mobile You can have Xcloud for $8.99 a month or whatever, whatever the PC equivalent is. The PC Game Pass is what I think $8 or $7.99 or something, just for the PC version. So I think they are going to push that Ultimate. With the Series X dropping, they didn't want to scare anybody off. I think so. Keeping that $16 or $15 a month for having all your Series X games, I think is the way that they're going to push that. But I've obviously bumped up to the all access, so I didn't have to drop the money on the console initially, and it actually worked out cheaper over the 2 years to go full access than it did to buy the console and then buy Game Pass on top. So weird logic there, but I think you end up getting about 3 or 4 months Game Pass for free by doing it that way. So it just made sense to do it. So, as you said, inflation, it's inevitable that the price will go up at some point, but wait and see. It's another subscription that I'm paying for that I'm barely using at the moment. So, when the Series X arrives, it's going to save me a lot of money on comparisons. But other than that, it's just another sub in the background.
Okay. Yeah, for us, what's your take? I know you just got back. Didn't know if you were.
I was like, hopefully, I get a couple breaths in before I speak. Anyway, I kind of like it. The thing about like the Xbox Cloud service, or that you have so many games that I don't know if it's kind of like Netflix. You never know what to choose when you play it. Yeah. So it's like I'm hyped that they have all these games, but I never know what to play. So that's the only problem I have with it. So I just terminated my subscription, because I don't need another bill coming at me for no reason.
Yeah.
But I still like it, especially when the new games come out, the exclusives. That's when I see it being beneficial. I do see them raising the price or having different models because they just got to know the studio, and they're like, it's not beneficial to some of the studios because they're not really getting paid for the work they do. So I do see it going up. So
okay, good to know. Yeah, I personally, if it goes up any higher, I don't know. I'll just be real with you guys because, like Chief was saying, I hardly play Xcloud. I mean, I just download the PC version game and play it on Shadow or Max Sense. I hardly use the service unless they upgrade the service. If they put the Series X blades there, and I mean it's par to par with Stadia, then I will consider paying more. But as like I'm not giving them more than $15 right now until they update that. But as far as again, one of my biggest thing with it, I would love to see some AAA third-party games come to the platform instead of just all Microsoft first-party studio. But I do have to say, if you do love Microsoft first-party studio, Minecraft, Rare Games, and all those things, then this is really good for you. But it might not be for everyone, including myself. So I don't know if the price hikes, I'm just not gonna go for it with it, realistically speaking. I might just get the PC one and just use that for sure. But anyway, that's it for Xcloud. Quickly, again, if I didn't get in one, if I'm missing something, just hop in. But just want to quickly cover the Shadow news, right? For those of you guys living in the US, the States, you can now upgrade storage to Shadow, and that's a big thing. I don't know if it's available in UK. Chief, correct me if
they fixed the bug, so you can upgrade your storage in the UK again.
In UK as well. So that's been the biggest thing because I believe you only get 256 gig internal storage. So it's not a lot. I mean, if you want to download a game like Call of Duty Black Ops with Warzone, right? That pretty much fills that whole space. So now you can upgrade. So just want to know anyone this panel if like still use Shadow, excited about that upgrade, just feel free to hop on discussion.
Yeah, I have been playing on Shadow this week, so I have, and I will be trying out the Quest app, which they have opened up this week, where you can hook up to side quest and you can play your Shadow on your Oculus Quest too.
Yeah.
That app dropped down this week. Haven't had a chance to actually do it yet, but it's on my list to do. I'm really looking forward to actually trying that to see how it works.
Make a video. I definitely love to see what that looks like for sure too. I don't have a Quest, but I'm very curious to see what that looks like. How about you? Anyone hop on? What's your take on
Quest 2
storage?
is not going to have Facebook cloud gaming, no?
Gosh.
Oh yeah. Eventually, there's our oasis.
Gosh. Good luck with that one. Also, what's your take on this? Are you excited for more
I haven't
storage
I haven't
capacity?
been using it this week, to be honest, and I
Yeah.
checked the storage, and a few weeks ago I was interested in storage, but then if I was interested in storage, I'll do it annual, so it makes the same
Okay.
price roughly. So
Yep.
annual subscription with extra storage, 512, would be the same price as I'm paying now for monthly. But I was a bit scared that I would have to be tied to the annual, and then they wouldn't offer me an upgrade when higher tiers are available. So
Mm,
I stood back a little bit and just said, okay, I'm happy with what I'm doing. The internet speeds are quite fast, and I'm not playing big, huge games that are like 150 gig in size. So at the moment, I'm just plodding along a little bit with Xcloud and Stadia using my shadow.
okay.
I'm
Good.
mostly using Shadow to stream GeForce Now Stadia at the moment.
That still works for you. I don't know how you do that, man. I try to get my camera to show up and I fail every single time. That's what you
I
use
don't
it?
know. I can do it from both my Mac and my PC. So
Interesting.
I don't understand how everybody's having so many issues and
Huh.
it works fine. But
Well,
yeah, just follow the guide. Just uninstall them, reboot, reinstall. Usually works for me.
interesting. Okay. First, what's your take on Shadow? Have you tried it? What's your take on more storage too?
I've always been interested in Shadow just for playing other games, but ever since I bought my PC, I haven't touched it because my PC does
True.
a good enough job, so I don't really need it. And I kind of stream off of the PC as well, so it would be. I was interested in it at first, but then I saw the pricing compared to other things like GeForce Now. I was like, why am I paying more? I could just pay
True.
$5.
True.
And they're like, I used to play. It would be necessary when I used to play on my MacBook because I had my MacBook was from 2014, so it was like a fossil at this point. But now it's not even necessary for me to
True.
use Shadow.
So just real quick, want to answer this, bring this up to members of the panel. Xbox guy and PlayStation guy talking about fast load times on new consoles, but Stadia is so fast to load games. Any thoughts? Any members want to take this on?
Got lots of thoughts on this.
Yeah.
I'll be proving it for sure in 10 days, roughly,
Yeah.
11 days.
Yeah.
But initial thoughts are Stadia's in trouble, big time,
Ooh.
especially with Series X quick resume. That thing is nuts. So, Stadia's going to lose another USB, I think. And, Luna is nipping at its heels as well. I did the Luna versus Stadia comparison on the channel of the load speeds, and Luna is already winning in its early access state on a few of those titles. So I'll be confirming that obviously for sure when we get full access. But from the streams that we've seen and the load times that we're seeing from Luna and Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, advantage for much longer, if at all.
Have you seen the new one which is doing the rounds now with Astro's Playroom? It's like 2 seconds or something. So, so yeah, yeah, that Spider-Man one, which I think which someone has broke the NDA on. Oh my god, that is.
Yeah, I think it's like 6 seconds. It's like nuts from like as a quick resume. I think not as a cold start.
No, that was a cold start.
If that was a cold start,
Wow.
geez, wow.
Holy crap!
Yeah, if you actually watch it again, there is a load screen there. It's only up for a brief second, and then it goes into the menu, and then he clicks into the save game, and away he goes.
Oh, don't build me hope up. I've got Miles Morales Ultimate, and I've got a PS5, and if no, that doesn't do 6 seconds, I'll be like, lies. I can wait 30 seconds, but if it's any more than that, I'm gonna throw a tantrum.
Yeah. But Chief, I think Jerry also said he's going to be comparing it, but you are going to be comparing next gen as well too, right? So it's going to be pretty cool to see, man. It's going to be cool.
And also, I'm going to have a 3080 with a PCIe MV4 also in a couple of weeks. So, I'll probably be able to cold start my PC and launch the game. in about 30 seconds. So we'll have to see.
Interesting. All right, fellas, want to respect the time. It is about that time, but want to give members of this panel a chance to just let you guys know what they're doing, where you can find them. So to get started, Holtz, where's that channel at, sir?
The whole point is, listen here, I'm going to rename this channel as like Dumb Cloud Gamer, because listen here, I was playing Sekiro, right, thinking I'll play some games as a premiere, and I'm just terrible at it. And unless you want to see some comedy of me swearing at the telly, or then the other day me playing Attack on Titan Japanese with a muted mic, then I'll finally entertain you. But at the moment, I thought to myself, I'm going to wait for the Series X, I'm going to wait for Assassin's Creed, I'm going to wait for the games that I know I can actually play and dive right in. So you might actually see me with Yakuza Like a Dragon, you might see me with Miles Morales, you might actually see me with Assassin's Creed, Valhalla. There's going to be loads of games that I can name, and maybe you might actually see me this week with Zanyam Sword 7.
Oh, I would
So,
love
you know what I mean?
Make that a thing, please.
Yeah.
It's all
I don't-
practice, Holtz. It's all practice.
I don't know Chinese, so you won't be hearing me trying to kill nothing. It'll just be me plodding along.
That'd be awesome. Duncan, what do you do and where can people find you, sir?
If you can check us out, Cloudy with Games, and we check out the news there all the time. You can find me at One to Escape on Twitter as well. And I'm just going to plug our We Play Along tomorrow night at 9 o'clock UK, which is 4 o'clock Eastern, which Holtz gets crashed into a lot on.
It's a terrible experience. You think you're good, like, then someone plays dirty, you play dirty, we're just blaming everyone.
Sounds like fun. How about you, Frost? Where can people find you? What do you do, sir?
Well, you can find me. I don't know if you guys can hear me, right? I'm good.
Yep, you're
Okay,
good.
You can find me on Twitter as Critical Frost. I think it's spelled the same way. No, it's just Critical Frost. I mean Critical F actually. You can find me on Twitch. I sometimes play. That's how Chief saw me die like 15 times in a row. Critical Frost 1, and on YouTube just Critical Frost, same thing.
Cool. And you know us here at Cloud Gaming Extreme do comparison videos, how-tos, gameplay vids, and yeah, man, this is pretty cool. Every Saturday we do this, and it's pretty cool to just talk with people who are cloud gaming enthusiasts about cloud gaming subject, news, and topics. So 2 p.m. we do this. For us, it's good having you as a guest, man. You know, like
Thank you.
yeah,
having me.
yeah. So it's good just chatting cloud gaming with you. But appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you guys next Saturday at 2 p.m. as well. All right, till next time, peace out.